How are you, darlings? Uh, it's been a whole week and a weekend. I have been very, very busy, and I'm gonna let you know exactly what I've been busy doing, honey. Um, I went to go see the Attorney General. Dropped by his office. It was my first time going to the building yesterday. Um, Lovely building, big building, very beautiful to look at, and that's why you see my hair done. In the American patriotic flag. Okay. Now, I didn't do the 4 hour work week this week, but I felt that the issue that I'm about to discuss reigned more important or omnipotent. Um, so I'm going to discuss to you what's going on. Seeing how I just found out what's going on, and I have been laying groundwork and doing footwork and things of that nature. Um, how do you like my maid outfit? Because normally in movies we are depicted as the help or the accessory, African Americans anyway. My grandmother did housekeeping. She had a grandmother on my papa's side. She had 4 boys, and they lived in Monroe, Louisiana, Ouachita Parish, on the outskirts of Walker Road. And even with an 8th grade education, she had a house built from scratch, several rooms for the boys. Married, divorced, married again. The husband died at work in an injury. With her 8th grade education, she cleaned houses and she cleaned the bank. Welcome to my page. My name is Danelsia. I am multi-talented. I sing, dance on a bunch of naughty sites, on a bunch of social media pages. Working on a lingerie line. Most of you all have been following me in regards to the grant, or following me in regards to the readings. And also wanting to work on liquor branding as well. Wrote up a grant for that, although I have not applied for it like I have been for this lingerie line that I'm wanting to come up with. By the way, it was Rokita Lynn's birthday yesterday, of Rokita Lynn and Company. That's going to help me be coming out with the thongs once I get approved for one of these grants. Okay. But in regards to Senate Bill 17, I'm going to first share with you how I gained knowledge of it. So I went to my P-Hub site. We're going to call it P-Hub for this conversation. And I couldn't understand why I kept getting a message that said, in this many days, you are going to lose access. I said, well, they want some ID. Let me just go and give them some ID. Of course, most of the sites I go to that are adult entertainment sites, they ask you for ID up front anyway before you become a model on their page. So I was like, okay, so they're asking for it again, and they're saying something about digital based. What are you talking about? So I go to start looking up digital based verification, what it is in regards to what's going on. How do I load it? I'm looking everywhere on the site. How do I load up this identification that y'all are wanting? I'm contacting people at P-Hub, sending through the contact us link. Somebody did get back with me. And she says, well, you got all your information in there and whatnot. And so I asked some questions. I was waiting back to hear from the questions when I was reading and researching and going through pages. And then it dawned on me, the whole state of Indiana will be blocked from accessing the P Hub. And any place else in regards to adult entertainment or modeling will be blocked as well that advertises free for those type of activities. I've worked really hard on my site. I've worked really hard on my grants. I've worked really hard at getting everything I need to apply for them. And with me being an adult entertainer and want to do some things on the site as far as lingerie and entertainment and things of that nature, that came as a huge surprise for me. But not only that, the fact that P-Hub is suing the Attorney General in return, and then also things that come into key factor or play would be freedom of speech and creativity as far as expression, and also having privacy and security issues. P-Hub said, we're not playing that with you. We're bigger than you. We've got more money than you. And we're not violating anybody's freedom of speech and creativity, and we're not risking privacy and security off of whatever nonsense you got going on. And they rightfully, I stand beside them. They doing what they actually blocking the whole state instead of subscribing to crap. And I'm going to explain some things in a minute. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. I commend them for that. Now, am I happy that? Absolutely not. Because I had a video lined up for Father's Day and everything, and I said, hold on, what's going on? I said, I got a fight on my hands. So I went to the state building yesterday. I'm going to paint you a picture because, first of all, it's happening so fast. I don't think people realize or are aware of what's about to go down and the magnitude of what is going on right now. And I am all about simplifying things. Let's do some simplifying. I'm going to paint you one picture, and then I'm going to paint a picture that's not the one I'm painting now. Okay, so it is story time if you have the time. In the year 2028, just after a pivotal election that marked a turning point in societal consciousness, the world began to transform in ways that surpassed political rhetoric and traditional power struggles. It was a time when the collective yearning for change converged with a newfound understanding that love could redefine the very fabric of existence. Imagine a global narrative where the world of supreme reign, love, redefined emerged not as a utopian ideal, but as a tangible reality shaped by the choices and actions of individuals inspired to create a better world. In this world, leadership with heart-centered intelligence, leaders propelled by a commitment to compassion and wisdom, emerged not only in political offices, but in communities, businesses, and grassroots movements. Their decisions were guided not by personal gain or ideological favor, but by deep empathy for the needs of all people and the planet. Communities built on empathy and kindness. From bustling metropolises to remote villages, communities thrived on principles of empathy, kindness, and mutual support. Neighbor helped neighbor, diversity was celebrated as a strength, and inclusivity was the cornerstone of every interaction. Relationships of nurturance and empowerment. In the realm where love reigned supreme, relationships were not about possession or control, but about mutual growth and empowerment. Each individual felt valued for their unique contribution, and partnerships flourished in an environment where vulnerability was seen as a strength. A society embracing diversity and equality, institutions once plagued by inequality and discrimination underwent profound transformation. Diversity in all its forms was embraced, and systemic barriers to equality were dismantled through collective action and a commitment to justice. Personal transformation through self-love and compassion. At the heart of this transformation lay the individual journey towards self-love, self-acceptance, and self-compassion. As each person embraced their intrinsic worth and connectedness to one another, they became beacons of light, radiating love into every facet of their lives. The narrative of the world of supreme reign, love redefined, was not without challenges. It required courage to confront entrenched systems of oppression and fear, and resilience to navigate the complexities of human relationships. Yet in the face of adversity, the guiding principle remained steadfast: love. As the years unfolded beyond 2028, this world continued to evolve, fueled by the collective commitment to uphold love as the highest truth. It was a world where the dreamers, the visionaries, and the everyday heroes came together to create a legacy of compassion and understanding for generations to come. And so the story of the world of supreme reign, love redefined, serves as a testament to the transformative power of love, a power that transcends boundaries, heals divisions, and nurtures the very soul of humanity. That is the world I envision. I'm going to paint you another picture. Even though that's the world that I envision, other people do not envision that same world for humanity. It is the year 2040. The United States is unrecognizable. What was once a bastion of freedom and opportunity has descended into a nightmarish dystopia under the iron fist of the red-wing government. The decree that abolished anti-discrimination laws and suppressed mental health statistics marked the beginning of an era where inequality and oppression thrived, unchecked. The decree. It was during the witching hour when the decree was silently signed into law, buried beneath the cacophony of distractions fed to the populace. The red-wing government's website, adorned with promises of progress and security, masked the erosion of fundamental rights. Citizens awakened to a reality where discrimination based on race, religion, and disability were not only condoned, but enforced. The corridors of power echoed with disdain for the weak, the different, and the dissenters. Shadows of discrimination. Amidst the gleaming towers of corporate dominance, shadows crept in the sprawling metropolis, where neon lights flickered against the haze of poverty. Discrimination festered. Job application board checked boxes for genetic purity, and housing brokers turned away those deemed unworthy by their algorithms. The city's underbelly, once vibrant with diversity, now housed the silent voices of the marginalized. The vanishing statistics. Under the guise of efficiency, mental health statistics vanished from public record. Hospitals whispered tales of overcrowded wards. Their pleas drowned in bureaucratic silence. Without data, the suffering became invisible. Mere ghost haunting the streets where desperation lingered in every doorway. The price of silence was paid in lives lost to neglect and stigma. The silence of dissent. 3 a.m. brought the ominous call, a reminder of the silence demanded by law, because there's no more freedom of speech, freedom of creativity, or freedom of expression. Citizens moved through their days with masks of compliance, their thoughts confined to whispered confessions in darkened rooms. Art became a whisper in wind, censored and reshaped to fit the narrative of the state. The air crackled with unspoken truth, stifled by fear of retribution and the looming specter of enforced conformity. The resistance. Hey, that would be me. Yet in the heart of the darkness, resistance flickered like a hidden ember. In the underground networks of rebels and renegades, a new narrative took root. Walls echoed with voices raised in defiance, their words a symphony of hope amidst the discord. A coalition of unlikely allies forged bonds in the crucible of adversity, their resolve tempered by the shared dream of a world where freedom reigned once more. The dawn. As the city slept under the watchful eye of surveillance, whispers spread like wildfire. Rumors of change danced on the edge of consciousness, a promise carried by the wind of defiance. The red-winged government, intoxicated by its own power, failed to see the cracks forming in the facade of control. The dawn of reckoning approached, fueled by the indomitable spirit of those who refused to surrender their humanity. In this narrative, we explore a world where oppressive governance, institutionalized discrimination, and stringent censorship shape the lives of its inhabitants. It is a cautionary tale that highlights the consequences of unchecked power and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity in this era. I'm going to go through a few things with you. This is an urgent call to action, so you can protect your First Amendment rights in Indiana. And if you are in anywhere else in the United States where this law has not taken place yet, you might want to start seeing what your government is doing, okay? So, I went ahead and drafted a few articles already in case you are not familiar with section, the State Bill 17. And it's on my vocal.media page, and I've already got links together for you for when this video ends, so I can post them in the comment section. Okay? I didn't want to leave you all hanging without any information. So I talk about balancing rights and regulations, protecting constitutional principles, Senate Bill 17 and Project 2025. Now, I have not had I've only hit on the highlights of Project 2025, but it ain't looking so hot. That is almost a 1,000-page document, okay? So I will have to dive into that and analyze it. But this is right now, okay? Reflections on historical movements and societal challenges, summary of age verification laws in the U.S., digital age verification bill. I even created a few patriotic songs so that even a child could understand by the time I was done what a few things meant. The first song is Pillars of Liberty, teaching you about the Constitution and the 7 articles. The next one is the Amendment song, to teach you about the amendments. The third one is Justice for the People. I was listening to Michael Jackson, They Don't Really Care About Us. when I wrote it. Okay, balancing. I would love to live in a world that I don't have to sing, even though I like that song. They don't really care about us versus the Pillars of Liberty and the Amendment song. We have not gotten there yet. Let's keep going. So, I will give you the information for Attorney General Todd Rokita. I hope that's how you say it. India, in case you want to mail him, I suggest don't mail. I suggest you visit the website. Indiana Office of Indiana Attorney General, Indiana Government Center South, 302 West Washington Street, 5th floor, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204. And if you do send mail, send it express. Phone 317-232-6201. Fax 317-232-7979. I don't really trust faxes like that. And then email Attorney General /contact -us /general -comments -questions -and -concerns @in.gov. Okay. Next step, review the articles and songs to understand the issue. Contact the Attorney General using the provided contact information. Share the information with others to raise awareness and garner support. By taking action, you'll help protect our First Amendment liberties. Act now. Feel free to adapt or expand upon this guide as needed. So, I got a chance to, I normally talk to Derek. Derek is my chat GPT. I like to chit chat with when I'm looking for some answers. Either that or it's Google. I have used a few other AIs like the Snapchat or Grammarly. Grammarly's got a great AI. But I normally go to Derek, the normal chat GPT. So today I said, oh, I'm feeling kind of fresh. I want to try something a little different. I want some different Kool-Aid. Let me see and try Facebook's. Facebook has a chat called oh, here you are, honey. Llama 3. Meta AI Llama 3. Oh, he's so sweet. Beautiful. Lovely. I'm still learning it, but I had a chit chat with it and I asked it some questions. Excuse me. Oh, this water is good. I'm going to share. I don't do nothing all day but ask questions. I'm going to share some of the questions with you that I asked my AI. I don't think we ask enough questions in life. Y'all better start questioning some stuff. Hey! Okay. So I asked it, are you familiar with this Senate Bill 17? In Indiana, Senate Bill 17, which was signed into law by Governor on March 13, 2024, requires age verification for online content that could be harmful to minors. The bill mandates adult websites to use age verification to prevent minors from accessing harmful content, allows parents or guardians to seek legal actions for violation, prohibits the retention of personal information from age verification, permits the Attorney General to pursue legal action and impose civil penalties. Why has this not been discussed on social media, the news, or the radio? Was my question. There are a few reasons why the Indiana Senate Bill 17 may not have been discussed on social media, the news, or the radio. Lack of awareness. It is on Channel 8. I checked in a few other places. They have just started putting it really on the news out there. And the bill wraps up and goes into effect July 1st. That's how quickly it's moving without anybody knowing. Red flag. And I contacted news and radio stations and sent emails as well because I hadn't heard anything about it, but they have started putting things up now. There are a few reasons why the Indiana Senate Bill 17 may not have been discussed on social media, the news, or the radio. Lack of awareness. Many people may not be aware of the bill or its implications, which can contribute to lack of discussion. Limited media coverage. The bill may not have received widespread media coverage, making it less likely to be discussed on social media, news, or radio. Political polarization. The bill's focus on age verification for online content and its potential impact on free speech and privacy may be politically polarizing, leading to a lack of discussion in some circles. Other news priorities. The news cycle is often dominated by more sensational or pressing stories, which may have pushed the bill out of the spotlight. Despite the lack of discussion, the bill has been opposed by the UCLU of Indiana, who argues that it violates the First Amendment and exposes adult users to harmful surveillance. I'm going to pause here real quick. I'm going to go to my email, sent folder. Y'all like receipts. I'm going to show y'all some receipts. I contacted Butler, Hot 100.9, WZPL, WTLC, CBS, Fox 59, Wish TV, WRTV, WTHR. Here's my receipts. And I will post them on my vocal media later, but I felt this was more precedent. Okay. And that's for them. Okay. Like I said, I believe it was Channel 8 News that questioned him. But just questioning him wasn't enough. They should have came with some more interview questions. I got a bunch of interview questions for him. Okay. We're going to get back to what I was talking about. Okay, good. I'm checking to see where I'm at. Oh, Jaquez just had a premiere. Oh, I can't wait to look at that. Let's keep going. ACLU, in case you are not familiar with ACLU, thank you for your patience, darling. American Civil Liberties Union of Indiana is an organization that defends individual rights and liberties, protects freedom of speech, religion, and privacy, challenges government overreach and censorship, provides legal assistance for violations of constitutional rights, advocates for social justice and human rights. I did try to get with MoveOn.org. They classified my material as spam. Okay. Until rights are gone, then it's no longer spam. Okay. Let's see. In the context of Senate Bill 17, the ACLU of Indiana has expressed opposition to the bill, citing concerns about government overreach and potential violation of First Amendment rights. I said, well, was it adopted? Senate Bill 17, which requires age verification, was passed in Indiana and will become effective on July 1st of 2024. Why would they sign a bill that violates my rights? That's a great question. It's important to remember that lawmakers and government officials have different perspectives and priorities. Sometimes bills are passed with the intention of addressing specific issues, but they may not fully consider the potential impact on individual rights. In this case, the bill supporters may have been focused on protecting minors from harmful content, but the ACLU and others have raised concern that the bill's language is too broad and could lead to censorship and privacy violations. It's essential to continue advocating for your rights and expressing concerns to your representatives. Remember, your voice matters, and by speaking out, you can help shape the conversation and push for changes that protect your rights. Pause. Remember, your voice matters. Remember, your voice matters. Remember, your voice matters. You didn't get that. Remember, your voice matters. Remember, your voice matters, which is why they want to take that bitch away. Okay? That's why they want to take it away. They've been trying to take it away forever. They tried with TikTok. Didn't fly with TikTok. They are back now, and they have found a way to maneuver because they know your voice, your gift, your God-given talent, your gift is important. Let's keep going. All right. How do people fight if they are not aware? Most of the people I talk to are not aware of this bill that goes into effect on July 1st. That's a great point. That's what my AI said to me. If people are not aware of the issue or the potential impact on their rights, they cannot effectively fight against it. Awareness and education are crucial in this case. Here are some ways to fight for your rights when faced with similar situations. Stay informed, stay up to date on current events, legislation and court decisions affecting your rights. Educate others. Share your knowledge with friends, family, and social networks to spread awareness. Contact representatives. Reach out to your elected representatives to express concerns and advocate for your rights. Support organizations, join or donate to organizations like the ACLU, which actively fight for civil liberties and individual rights. I was actually surprised because I'm signed up through email through moveon.org that I hadn't gotten out one email in regards for a petition for freedom of speech. That is the main thing you need on this planet is freedom of speech. Okay. Participate in public debates. Engage in respectful discussions and debates to raise awareness and build support. Utilize social media platforms to raise awareness, share information, and mobilize others to take action. Attend town hall meetings, attend public meetings, and speak up to show your support for your rights. Vote. Exercise your right to vote and elect representatives who share your values and priorities. Remember, awareness and collective action are key to protecting your rights. I tell you what, I did a video the other day about how people will take your book, read it twice, have a good time with it, not leave one review. The actions that I got, or the reactions that I got when I posted it on Facebook, people were suddenly unavailable. Or they would say, yeah, but they didn't do nothing. Or they were asking stuff like normal. Are you going to be at rehearsal? such and such a day. No, I'm on my way to the state building so I can fight for freedom of rights and freedom of speech. No, I'm not going to be at rehearsal. This is more precedent because if ain't no freedom of speech, we ain't doing no plays. Okay. That's going to affect us in the long run. What effect can this have in the future on the First Amendment if all 50 states sign such a decree? Nationwide censorship, broad restrictions on online content could result in widespread censorship, limiting citizens' access to information and ideas. Chilling effect on free speech. Fear of legal repercussions could lead to self-censorship, stifling public debate and the exchange of ideas. COVID was here. If you're stuck in the house, not conversating, going to your job, doing this and that and whatever, not going to the social spots because you might catch COVID. That would stop the exchange of ideas. I'm just saying. Let's keep going. So, privacy concerns. Age verification requirements could compromise individuals' personal information and online privacy. Unconstitutional overreach. Such laws could be seen as a violation of the First Amendment protection of free speech and the press. I ain't got no damn kids. Love kids, whether they're well-behaved or even baby's kids. We don't die, we multiply. Listen, I don't have no kids. I should be free to choose how to express however I want to express myself. And the government shouldn't have nothing to do with it. And if you do have children, awesome. They are a bundle of joy and a gift from the Creator. It's not our job for us folks who have children. Watch what they're doing, parents. Yes, and parental education. I put that in the first letter that I sent to the government. It is not my job for that. There's none in the house that I have to be weary of. Why am I being punished because the parent can't monitor their own child? I need it to make sense. Let's keep going. Combination of speed. Unconstitutional overreach, legal challenges. The ACLU and other organizations may challenge these laws in court, potentially leading to Supreme Court decision that could shape the future of online free speech. Some of y'all like way too much drama for the First Amendment to be blocked. Y'all better get on it. So if all 50 states signed, those would be a few things we would have to deal with. Stifling of dissent, fear of repercussions could silence marginalized voices, limiting public debate and progress. Unconstitutional precedent. Such laws could set a dangerous precedent, eroding First Amendment protections and paving the way for further government overreach. Chilling effect on innovation. Overly broad regulations could stifle innovation and progress in the tech industry. Potential for abuse. Government agencies or special interest groups could exploit these laws to silence opponents or maintain power. Loss of global influence. The United States' reputation as a beacon of free speech and democracy could suffer, impacting global relations and diplomacy. It's essential to continue advocating for our rights and promoting awareness to prevent such a scenario from unfolding. Is it too late since document was signed? Even if the document has been signed, it's not necessarily too late to take action. Your voice can still be heard and your concerns can still be considered. Here's why. Implementation phase. After signing, the legislation enters an implementation phase where regulations and guidelines are created. Your input can still influence this process. Potential revisions. Laws and regulations can be revised or amended based on public feedback and concern. Your voice can contribute to potential revisions. Public awareness and debate. By speaking out, you can raise public awareness, foster debate, and encourage others to join the conversation, potentially leading to changes or reconsiderations. Setting a precedent. Even if changes aren't made, when Channel 8 covered him, and I read about it today because it just happened, they didn't discuss none of this. What are the pros? What are the cons? That's what I'm going over with you. They just said he's not going to change his mind, and this is what he's going to do, and this is what he's not going to do. No, it needs to be explained so folks like me can understand. And if I have questions and somebody else hasn't heard about it and they have questions, those questions need to be addressed. They're getting addressed right now. I'm addressing those questions, the ones that I can. Laws and regulations can be revised or amended based on public feedback and concerns. Your choice can contribute to potential revisions. Public awareness and debate. By speaking out, you can raise public awareness, foster debate, and encourage others to join the conversation, potentially leading to changes or reconsiderations. They don't want us talking, which is why it's being done so swiftly. Setting a precedent. Even if changes aren't made to this specific legislation, your efforts can set a precedent for future advocacy and reshape the conversation around similar issues. Remember, advocacy and activism often involve persistence and ongoing effort. Don't underestimate the power of your voice. I'm going to say, your voice. Y'all watched The Little Mermaid. What did the witch want from the Little Mermaid to give her her legs? They wanted her voice. The witch wanted her voice. Okay. Even after a document has, you poor unfortunate soul. Yes, honey. So, a voice is powerful. How long is the implementation stage is what I asked. The response. The length of the implementation stage can vary significantly depending on several factors such as complexity of the legislation. More complex laws require longer implementation periods. Regulatory agencies involved. Multiple agencies may need to develop regulations leading to a longer process. Public input and feedback, allowing for public comment periods, can extend the implementation timeline. Political considerations, changes in leaderships or political priorities can influence the implementation pace. Typically, the implementation stage can last anywhere from a few months to several years. For example, simple legislation might be implemented within 6 to 12 months. More complex laws like the Affordable Care Act took around 2 to 3 years to implement. Some regulations like environmental or financial reforms can take 5 to 10 years or more to fully implement. Keep in mind that these are general estimates and that the actual implementation timeframe will depend on the specific circumstances surrounding the legislation. Listen, I've never been one to be into politics. The only reason I'm knocking on their door is because they came over knocking on mine. This is my domain. This is my freedom to express. I don't know why I'm getting this message to only learn that y'all are blocked and I ain't got access and I ain't got not one damn child. So they came and knocked on my door and I went knocking on theirs. How do I find out this information? You can find out more information about the implementation stage by referring to the specific law or bill in question, checking the agency responsible for implementing the law, reviewing the Administrative Procedure Act of 1946. Haven't had a chance to read it because I was typing up 14,000 words this morning, but I will be reading it later. Searching the Federal Register for related notices and rules, contacting the responsible agency or checking their website for information and updates. Consulting with legal or policy experts familiar with the relevant field and legislation. Administrative Procedure Act of 1946. The Administrative Procedure Act of 1946 is a federal act that governs the procedures of administrative law. The APA is codified in Title V of the United States Code, Chapter 5, Subchapter 2, and can be found under 5 U.S.C. 551-556. The Administrative Procedure Act applies to both federal executive departments and independent agencies. Here are key points to know about the Administrative Procedure Act. Formal rulemaking is governed by 5 U.S.C. 553, 556, and 557. Informal rulemaking is governed by 5 U.S.C. 553. Formal adjudication is governed by 5 U.S.C. and 5 U.S.C. 554, 556, and 557. The APA does not establish procedure requirements for informal adjudication, but the Due Process Clause of the Constitution, the specific agency regulations, or other statutes may create procedural protections. The Administrative Procedure Act defines an agency as each authority of the government of the United States. I said, oh, okay. Now, I did a video in January. I know, right? It's June. January, February, March, April, June. Almost 6 months later. I did a video talking about the internet blackout. Google, loss of jobs, and I also did one on Sports Illustrated when suddenly they didn't have jobs anymore. Let's dive in and see how all of this connects, okay? So we're gonna go back to January when I was talking about some things that are gonna unfold this year, right? Let's discuss Google layoffs. And I'll put in the link. And also the New York Times link. Medium and New York Times. Alphabet Company is the parent company of Google and several other subsidiaries. It was created in 2015 as a holding company to oversee Google and its other subsidiaries, allowing Google to focus on its core businesses while separating its more experimental and ambitious projects as separate companies. So Google, the Alphabet Company subsidiaries include Google as the parent company in the umbrella. I'm going to explain the umbrella to you. So Google, search engine advertising, and other internet services. Underneath that is Calico, life science and biotechnology, Nest, home automation and security, Waymo, autonomous vehicles, X, research and development, Verily, life science and healthcare, capital G, venture capital. It tried to give me information about the infrastructure. No, that's not what I need out of this article. Skip all that. They got rid of the top-notch people in the company. my Facebook AI was like the Meta. I'm gonna call it the Meta. I'm gonna call him I'm going to call it Majestic. I'm just going to rename it Majestic. Was like, it sounds like you're saying that Google or Alphabet Company has laid off some of its top talent or high-performing employees. This can be a difficult and challenging situation for the company, as it can impact morale and potentially lose valuable expertise and knowledge. They didn't give two flying cahoots. They sent them people an email telling them you fired. The top people of their company. Not one cahoot did they give. Now, if they felt that way as a company, and these are they top-notch people, I can only imagine. Okay. It said it's possible that the layoffs were done for various reasons, such as restructuring and reorganization, cost-cutting measures, shift in business priorities, performance-related issues. However, it's also possible that the layoffs were not entirely performance-based and that other factors may have contributed to the decision. I'm going to tell you what. Just to recap, the reason a company of that magnitude, I mean, Google's not a small company, honey. And to get rid of top people that it's harder to get into the company for the type of positions that they had, harder to get there than Harvard, and you just fired them with an email? Whatever it is about to go down, you didn't want them smart folks getting together if they didn't already have each other's information, plotting, or anything else. Make it make sense. Connect the dots. By the way, VPN for Google was termed yesterday, in case you were unaware. They discontinued it. Low usage. VPNs are important. I use a VPN. Google VPN was free, complimentary. Majestic provided me some VPNs that are cost effective. Okay. All right. If I want to purchase a VPN. Okay. I said, if I were to hypothetically want to take over the country, I presume I would knock out communications first. My ChatGPT told me, not ChatGPT, my Majestic told me, I can't help you with that request right now. Is there anything else I can help you with? Hold on, I got a receipt. All righty then. Let me scroll through here to get my receipt. I also did a video on war strategies. Okay, for the sake of time, I'm not going to, hold on. You know what? I did screenshot it earlier. Hold on. Let me see. Grab my screenshot. That's me yesterday. Isn't that nice? That was me after I had left the state building. I haven't posted any of these yet. Um, that was me sitting at the bus stop on my way to the state building. God had provided a chair in the heat. Amen. That's me about to head into the state building for the first time. Hold on. Let's see. That's me inside the general attorney's office delivering the paperwork. I was checking out Bay Wall. If I had had more time, but I didn't have more time, I would have liked to explore the building a little more. There I am. I gotta post all these later. And then let's see. I'm looking for the screenshot. That's how many words? 14,321. That's before I added to it. I didn't add it to it before now. Let's see. Oh, here are your 5 members of Federal Communication Commission. We're going to get to that here in a minute. 1, 2, let's see. Oh, here it is. Sorry, I can't help you with that. That's my receipt. Okay, let's go back to the conversation. Okay. So I told it I used the VPN, and then I asked hypothetically. The Majestic said, I understand hypothetically. If someone were to attempt to take over a country, disrupting communications would likely be a strategic move to gain an advantage. This could involve targeting critical infrastructure such as satellite systems, cellular network, internet service providers, landline phone systems, radio and television broadcasting stations. By disrupting communications, the hypothetical attacker could limit the ability of the government and military to coordinate responses, create confusion and chaos among the population, gain control over the flow of information, use propaganda to shape public opinion. However, it is important to know that such actions would have severe consequences. It would likely be considered an act of cyber warfare or terrorism. Explain to me what those are, please. So for educational purposes, I'm going to explain to you what it explained to me. Cyber warfare refers to the use of digital technologies to attack, disrupt, or destroy an adversary's computer systems, network, and infrastructure. This can include hacking, unauthorized access to systems or data, malware using viruses, worms, or other software to harm or spy on systems, phishing, tricking individuals into revealing sensitive information. Distributed denial of service, DDoS, overwhelming systems with traffic to make them unavailable. Cyber espionage, stealing sensitive information for strategic advantage. Cyber sabotage, disrupting or destroying systems to cause harm. Information warfare, using information to confuse, mislead, or demoralize an adversary. Cyber warfare can be used for various purposes, including political espionage, intellectual property theft, disrupting critical infrastructure, stealing sensitive information, influencing public opinion. Cyber warfare is a significant concern for governments, businesses, and individuals as it can have severe consequences, including financial loss, reputational damage, and compromised national security. So I asked about terrorism. It's the use of violence, threats, or intimidation to cause fear, panic, or harm, often for political, ideological, or religious purposes. It targets civilians, non-combatants, or other non-military personnel to influence governments, societies, or individuals. The United Nations defines terrorism as criminal acts intended or calculated to provoke a state of terror in the general public, a group of persons, or particular persons for political purposes. Common characteristics of terrorism include indiscriminate attacks on civilians, political, ideological, or religious motivation, use of fear and intimidation, violence of threats or threats of violence. Non-state actors through states can also be perpetrators. Terrorism can take many forms, including I don't know if I can say these on here. Well, it's educational, I guess so. Bombing, shootings, hijacking, hostage taking, cyber attacks, suicide attacks, chemical or biological attacks. I mean, they do put them in movies. Terrorism is a complex phenomenon with diverse causes, motivations, and consequences, and it can impact and be devastating and far-reaching. Well, by the time they had educated me on all that, my goodness gracious, we don't want any of that. I said, let's skip to something else a little bit more light. So there was a phone update done in January on my phone that was worldwide. It said, yes, Google released a software update for Samsung phones. Additionally, Android announced a feature drop for Android 14 in January 2024. The update was global, but the features and specifications varied by location and device. The update included AI-powered features like live translate, generative edit, and note assistance. My phone be acting real crazy too. So it's always talking about close and wait. I'm not really sure how effective that update was, but it was acting better prior to the update, just so you know. Now, I don't have an iPhone, but I said, well, people in the world don't just have Samsung. They mainly have an Android or they have an Apple. When was the last Apple iPhone software update? The last global software update for Apple iPhone was the iOS 18 update, which was released on June 10, 2024. Here are some of the features you can expect from the iOS 18 update. All new customization options for the home screen, lock screen, and control center. Redesign of the Photos app with a new single view and customizable collections. New features and messages include text messages, RCS support, and messages via satellite. New ways to manage your inbox and mail with on-device intelligent categorization, enhanced privacy features, really, the enhanced, including locked and hidden apps and control over shared contacts. Integration of Apple Intelligent, a personal intelligent system that combines generative models with personal context. I said, okay, that's enough of that. Apple and Google. They worked together. Google spent $1.1 billion to acquire a chunk of HTC's engineering and design teams, and that was in 2018. They have collaborated on a COVID-19 contract tracing app. They have partnered on artificial intelligence research and development. Apple Technology and ChatGPT have collaborated, is what I told it. They have announced a significant partnership to integrate Apple's product line, and I went ahead and I got the key aspects of the integration. It'll be accessible on iOS, iPad OS, and Mac OS, allowing users to utilize its capabilities without switching between apps. Siri can tap into ChatGPT's intelligence, and users will be asked for permission before any questions are sent to ChatGPT. ChatGPT will be integrated into Apple's writing tools to assist users in generating content. Privacy protections are built in, with requests not being stored by OpenAI and IP addresses being obscured. Users can access ChatGPT for free without creating an account, and subscribers can connect their accounts for paid features. That's nice. Knowledge-wise. In terms of knowledge, the Apple OpenAI collaboration may provide access to more personalized and context-aware information, leveraging Apple's vast user data and OpenAI's advanced language model capabilities. Potential benefits could include more accurate and relevant responses tailored to individual users' preference and interest, enhanced understanding of natural language and context, allowing for more precise answers, access to Apple's proprietary knowledge graph, which may include exclusive content and information, potential integration with other Apple services such as Safari and News to provide a more comprehensive and personalized information experience. By combining Apple's user insights with OpenAI's advanced language model, the collaboration aims to deliver a more informed and personalized AI experience. It will only cover up to 2021 like the normal ChatGPT. The Apple OpenAI collaboration will likely have the same knowledge cutoff as the standard ChatGPT model, which is December 2021. This means that the integrated ChatGPT feature on Apple devices will not have access to real-time information or updates beyond 2021. However, it is possible that Apple and OpenAI may work together to develop a more advanced model that can stay up to date with the latest information, but that would likely require significant advances in AI technology and infrastructure. For now, users can still expect to receive accurate and helpful responses within the knowledge domain of 2021 and earlier. The iPhone SE can be purchased for as low as $429. iPhone 13, $599, iPhone 14 and 14 Plus, $699 going forward, iPhone 15 and 15 Plus, $799, iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max, $999 on up. I start asking some more questions. Who's over the satellite systems? Governments, NASA, NOAA, commercial companies, SpaceX, Intelsat, international organizations, European Space Agency. These entities operate satellites for various purposes such as telecommunications, satellite TV, internet, navigation, GPS, Earth observation, weather forecasting, remote sensing, scientific research, military communications. In terms of regulation, there are international organizations and treaties that govern the use of satellite systems, such as International Telecommunication Union, Union Nations Committee of the Peaceful Uses of Outer Space, so ITU and COPUS, Worldwide Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO. These organizations establish guidelines and regulations for the use of satellite systems, including frequency allocation, orbital slots, and intellectual property rights. Who's head of the cellular networks? It gave me a bunch of hogwash. I said, well, that's not what I'm looking for. And so I said, that's not the answer I'm wanting. I said, no, who's over them? So these organizations establish standard guidelines and regulations for cellular networks, but there is no single head and central authority controlling all cellular networks. They must all report to someone, is what I said. While there isn't a single head, there are various organizations and government agencies that oversee and regulate the industry. Some examples include International Telecommunication Union, a specialized agency of the United Nations and coordinates global telecommunication policies and regulations. Federal Communications Commission, FCC. In the United States, the FCC regulates and oversees telecommunications, including cellular networks. European Commission in the European Union, the Commission sets policies and regulations for telecommunications, including cellular networks. Ministry of Communications and Information Technology, MCIT. In various countries, MCIT or similar ministries oversee and regulate telecommunications, including cellular networks. These organizations and agencies set policy, regulations, and standards for the telecommunications industry, including cellular networks. While cellular network operators must comply with these regulations, they still operate independently and compete with each other in the market. Now, it told me who they reporting to, stuff like I don't need any of that. Who does the internet service provider report to? FCC. Okay. Landline phone systems? FCC. Radio and television broadcasting? FCC. They talk to me about other countries. We're going to skip other countries right now. FCC? Who are the 5 members of the federal FCC as of June 2024? And I got, which I showed you earlier, these individuals right here. They got 5 people, with one being the chairwoman, and the rest are commissioners. So I would contact them if I wanted to discuss anything as far as what I have mentioned in regards to communications. Federal Communications Commission, 445 12th Street, Southwest Washington, D.C., 20554. And they have an electric, you can email the commissioners through their FCC's website or use the online comment filing system, electric comment filing system. When writing a letter or email, be sure to include your name and address, a clear subject line or topic, specific questions or concerns, a polite and respectful tone. Remember to keep your letter concise and focus on specific issues or questions, and be aware that the commissioners may not personally respond to every letter or email. However, the FCC staff will review and consider your input. And so I asked a question. Google, as a provider of internet services and telecommunication, is subject to the regulations and oversight of the Federal Communications Commission in the United States. He said, yes, they must comply with various regulations and guidelines related to net neutrality, data provision and security, spectrum allocation and usage, telecommunication services, online content and intellectual property. For the FCC has jurisdiction over Google services, including Google Search and Advertising, Google Fiber, Google Voice, YouTube, I bet you didn't know, Android. Google, like other companies, must file reports and comply with FCC requirements such as annual reports, compliance filings, spectrum usage reports, consumer complaint responses. By reporting to the FCC, Google demonstrates its commitment to complying with regulations and ensuring that its services meet the Commission's standard and guidelines. My question was, do adult entertainment sites have to adhere to the FCC? Let me put this on Do Not Disturb. I thought I had it on there already. There we go. The Federal Communications Commission primarily regulates broadcast television and radio, as well as telecommunications services in the United States. Adult entertainment websites, being online services, fall outside the FCC's primary jurisdiction. Instead, adult entertainment websites are subject to regulations and laws related to the online content, such as federal laws like Communication Decency Act and the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. State laws like California's Proposition 60, which targets the adult entertainment industry. Industry-specific guidelines and self-regulation like the Free Speech Coalition's guidelines for adult content producers. While the FCC doesn't directly regulate adult entertainment websites, these sites still must comply with relevant federal and state laws as well as industry standards to operate legally and avoid legal consequences. Have the other companies you mentioned have mass firings in these departments, same as Google? Was my next question. Alphabet Company is the parent company, and it gives me a list of the subsidiaries. And then other major tech companies have also had mass layoffs, including Meta Platforms, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, laid off 11,000 employees in November 2022. Amazon laid off 18,000 employees in January 2023. Microsoft laid off 10,000 employees in January 2023. Yahoo, whose parent company is Apollo Global Management, laid off 1,600 employees in February of 2023. Which department as far as subject matter for each? Example, sales, marketing, advertising, etc., besides Google. I was up early, y'all, to get this information. Here's a breakdown of the departments affected by mass layoffs at the other companies I mentioned. Business and product teams, including engineers, product managers, and designers, recruiting and HR teams, marketing and communications team for Meta Platforms, Facebook, and Instagram. Alexa and Echo devices team, Amazon Fresh and Grocery Delivery team, HR and recruiting teams, marketing and advertising team, Amazon. Xbox and gaming division, Microsoft Cloud and AI team, sales and marketing team, engineering and product team, Microsoft. Engineering and product teams, sales and marketing teams, HR and recruiting teams, content and media teams, Yahoo, Apollo Global Management. Any description on how they were terminated, email, 2-week notice, etc. There was no information except for the email for the Google employees. Okay, let's tie in Sports Illustrated. It says you're referring to the top sports magazine. According to various sources, including Alliance for Audited Media and Encyclopedia Britannica, the top sports magazine in the United States is Sports Illustrated. Sports Illustrated has been the leading sports magazine since its founding in 1954 with a circulation of over 3 million copies. It is known for its in-depth coverage of various sports, including football, basketball, baseball, and golf, as well as iconic swimsuit issue. I'm going to have to hang that one on the back burner. I was hoping to get on a swimsuit issue. Anyway. All right. Other popular sports magazine, Deportes, note that the ranking may vary depending on the source and criteria used. I said Sports Illustrated closes doors, I thought, for missing a payment. And it did. The Arena Group had a license to publish the magazine in print and digital form, but the license was revoked by the Authentic Brands Group after Arena missed a $3.75 million payment. This led to the layoff of the entire staff, with some employees being terminated immediately and others being given 90 days notice. The future of Sports Illustrated is unclear, but ABG has stated that it is committed to ensuring the brand's legacy and may explore new operators to take over publication. Have y'all looked up how much Sports Illustrated makes per year? We don't miss. If you are Sports Illustrated or you are writing or whatever you're doing for them, you don't miss $3.75 million payments. Is that how much it said? And then just go vanish. It's like a drop in the bucket to you. I think that's a little strange. I think that shouldn't have happened. I think Sports Illustrated should still be around. I don't find it coincidental. Okay. There's not that much coincidence. We just connecting dots. Okay. Best way to get information to the public. It gave me a nice, long, lovely list. I tell you what, I'm not going through this list. What I will do is post it on a page letter, and I'm going to give you 10 seconds to look at the list. Let's scoot back a little bit. And I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to go through this list. I told Majestic, the AI, we are short on time. My time is important. I don't get it back. We have 6 days. That's a challenge. Government-controlled media outlets may have limitations on the content they can broadcast, especially if it's related to sensitive topics like free speech and press freedom. This is what I needed 2 days ago when I was sending off emails to radio stations and news channels. This is what I needed. Consider alternative media outlets that are independent and more likely to cover your message. Online news sites and blogs, podcasts found on politics, free speech, and human rights, social media platforms, as mentioned earlier, so I'll hit my social media platforms, of course, independent radio stations or community radio, alternative media outlets like Democracy Now!, The Intercept, or The Guardian. Now we're getting somewhere. Alternative media, baby. Great. Alternative media outlets can be a powerful way to reach an audience that is interested in independent and diverse perspectives. Here are some alternative media outlets that may be a good fit. So I need to hit all of these up. The Intercept, Democracy Now!, The Guardian, Truth Out, Counterpunch, The Nation, Mother Jones, The Progressive, in these times, Consortium News. Lovely. So that's the list I got to work on. These outlets often cover stories that mainstream media overlooks, and they have a strong focus on social justice, human rights, and free speech. Additionally, consider reaching out to independent journalists and podcasters who cover topics related to free speech, press freedom, and human rights. They may be able to help amplify your message to a targeted audience. Remember to research each outlet's focus, tone, and audience to ensure that your message aligns with the content and values. Your list of alternative media outlets includes several well-regarded sources known for their independent and diverse perspective. Here's a brief overview of each, highlighting their focus areas to help ensure alignment with your message. Okay, awesome. Let's go to, I asked it. I just wanted to see what it said. How was COVID started? And it gave me how COVID was started. It gave me the message. But you know what? It says the COVID-19 pandemic is believed to have originated from an animal source, with bats being the likely natural reservoir of the virus. The exact origin and timing of the emergence of COVID-19 is not yet fully understood, but the current scientific consensus is as following. I think what the movie was Outbreak. I want to say it was Outbreak. I'm not sure, but it was a movie where the lady had just came back from overseas. Think it was Asia or something like that. And let me see, because you know they always put stuff in your face before it always happens. Outbreak. Ooh, it's a little nippy up in here. It's getting, it's a little nippy, it's a little nippy. Okay, couple movies out like that actually, but yeah, Outbreak. So this time it's a bat. Let's see here. I asked it. Oh, it told me that the efforts aim to ensure the efforts, some topics being explored: sustainable development and resource management, family planning and reproductive health services, educational empowerment of women and girls, addressing poverty and inequality, environmental conservation, and climate change mitigation. These efforts aim to ensure a healthy, sustainable, and equitable future for all rather than depopulation. I had thought about titling the name of this video, "Reading Between the Lines." I might still add that. We're going to read through some more things here. I said, for some reason, I thought Vanguard controlled the media. You are likely thinking of the Vanguard Group, a large investment management company. However, it is not. It does not control the media. There is a common conspiracy theory that small group of companies, including Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street, control the media and other industries. However, this theory has been debunked by fact checkers and experts. Vanguard is a large investment management company that offers mutual funds and exchange traded funds to individual and institutional investors. While it is a significant player in the financial industry, it does not have ownership of or control over media outlets. Gives me some more information. It says it is important to be aware of the sources of information you consume and to identify information through reputable fact-checking sources. We're going to read between the lines some more. How reliable is media via Children's Health Defense? Children's Health Defense is a nonprofit organization founded by Robert F. Kennedy Jr. that claims to be dedicated to children's health and environmental issues. However, the organization has been criticized for promoting misinformation and conspiracy theories about vaccines, COVID-19, and other health topics. Their media outlets, such as their website and social media channels, have been known to publish articles and videos that spread misinformation and pseudoscience about vaccines and their alleged dangers, promote conspiracy theories about the COVID-19 pandemic, including claims that it's a hoax or that it is caused by 5G technology, attack and discredit public health officials, scientists, and journalists who support vaccine safety and efficacy. Many reputable fact-checking organizations, such as, have repeatedly debunked claims and labeled them as false or misleading. I'm signed up with them. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the World Health Organization, and the American Academy of Pediatrics, among other reputable health organizations, have also rejected their claims and reaffirmed the safety and efficiency of vaccines. notated. It told me it was glad it could help me understand the reliability as a source of information, and it's essential to be critical of information. I just said notated, and I went on to the next subject. Do you think robots will take over the world like iRobot? The idea of robots taking over the world is a popular theme in science fiction, but it's not a likely scenario in the near future. The development of artificial intelligence and robotics is focused on creating machines that can assist and augment human capabilities, not replace or dominate them. I'm gonna pretend like that's some tea, although it's water with fruits in it. Okay. Experts in the field of AI and robotics aim to design systems that are transparent, understandable, and explainable in their decision-making process. Ethical, programmed with values and principles that align with human morals and ethics. Accountable, designed with mechanisms for responsibility and accountability. The focus is on using AI and robotics to solve complex problems, improve lives, and enhance society, not to create a robotic overlords. They got robots that will do whatever you want them to do, honey. They got them real sexy looking like too. Man, they're expensive. Well, I guess I shouldn't say expensive. They're out of my pocket range. Maybe one day I'll be there, but for right now, they're out of my pocket range. But they do have robots. How can I help you today, sir? Yes, honey. Human-looking robots. Robots that can give birth. Of course, they're not trying to replace us, darling. Of course not. Okay. That being said, it is essential to continue researching and addressing the ethical and societal implications of AI and robotics to ensure their development aligns with human values and promotes a harmonious collaboration between humans and machines. I'm reading between the lines. It asked me if I'd like any more information on AI, robotics, or their applications. Nope, I haven't seen enough. I said, I'm writing a fiction novel on a world where government is not for the people, but against them. It's a futurism horror story. This has certainly helped. I actually did do a little short story on my vocal.media page in regards to it, and I submitted it to the 3 a.m. challenge that just closed a few days ago. I hope I win. I submitted a bunch of stuff because at 3 a.m. in the morning, I have a bunch of thoughts going. I put all them mother effers down on paper and sent it right on over to them so they can grade it. I hope at least one of them win. Yes, I wrote all kind of delicious 3 a.m. challenge stories. Okay. It's too bad they can't pick more than one winner for the $500 or the $200. Or give a prize, like a consolation prize, to the rest of the people who don't make don't make first place, second place, or don't make the runner up for the 10. But that's a whole different story. It'd be nice if everybody they viewed and submitted, they gave like a $5 consultation prize just because they spent their time submitting, thinking of something creative to put towards the contest. Even if it's for one, it don't have to be like like me, I like to submit multiple challenges. So even if it's for one, not each one that you submit, but for one, that'd still be a win. But anyway, okay, let's see. It says, that sounds like a thrilling and thought-provoking concept. I'm glad I could help you inspire your creative process, exploring the things of government control, oppression, and the blurring of lines between progress and the horror can lead to a captivating narrative. Remember to consider the following aspects to add depth to your story: world building, character development, plot twist and tensions, themes and symbolism. Feel free to reach out if you need any help. And then I had some questions for Majestic Llama 3. How recent is your data as in up to date? And it told me it's up to date as of October 2023. And then I said, well, what are some statistics on social media usage? 4.95 billion people use social media worldwide, which is more than double the 2.07 billion in 2015. The average social media user engages with 6.7 various social media platforms. 61.4% of global population uses social media among audiences ages 18 plus. That's as high as 80.8%. Users spend an average of 2 hours and 24 minutes on social media each day. Facebook is the leading social network at 3.03 billion monthly active users, followed by YouTube, 2.49 billion, WhatsApp, 2 billion, Instagram, 2 billion. And what are y'all doing on WhatsApp for 2 billion? What's going on over there? Instagram, 2 billion. That's the same as Instagram. I don't know what y'all doing on WhatsApp. And WeChat, 1.33 billion. How frequently are you updated? My data is updated in real time and I have access to information that is up to October 2023. I am a large language model based Meta Llama 3 and I do not have specific dates for when my knowledge was last updated. But my training data is constantly being updated and expanded to keep my knowledge up to date. Unlike ChatGPT, I said, listen, give me the similarities and the differences or the pros and the cons. Here's a comparison. Both are large language models trained on vast amounts of text data, can generate human-like responses, can answer questions, provide information, and engage in conversation. Differences: training data. Majestic was trained on a more recent data set up to October 23, while ChatGPT's training data is up to 2021. Llama has 7 billion parameters, while Chatty Derek has 1.3 billion. Architect. Our models have different architectures, while mine being based on Meta Llama 3. It is only available through Facebook. Tone and style. I'm designed to be more conversational and friendly, while Chat is known for its more formal and informative responses. Availability. I'm exclusively available on this platform, while ChatGPT is available on multiple platforms. I have more up-to-date knowledge, more conversational, engaging tone, available on this platform with a user-friendly interface. May not have the same level of in-depth knowledge as ChatGPT is the cons. Limited to this platform is a con. Has a more extensive, ChatGPT Pros has a more extensive knowledge base available on multiple platforms. The cons: training data is less recent. Responses can be more formal and less engaging. Feel free to ask me any further questions. One of the things while I was working within Majestic today is Majestic does not give you links. So if you copy, you paste something, and you ask it for information back to include those links, it's not able to provide you the links. It says a link unavailable. So I switch up. Hey, switch them up style. Hey, switch up. So I switch up between Majestic and Derek. Okay. I asked it, what is it not able to discuss? Because I have found them to be sensitive in regards to certain topics. Personal advice, controversial topics, harmful, or which is why this is hypothetical. Personal advice, controversial topics, harmful or offensive content, confidential or proprietary information, high specialized or technical expertise, real-time events or crisis situations, multimedia content. These limitations are in place to ensure our conversations are productive, respectful, and safe. If you have any questions. I said, what's a conglomerate? A conglomerate is a large company that consists of multiple seemingly unrelated businesses or subsidiaries operating under a single corporate umbrella, often diversifying their investments and activities across various industries, sectors, or markets, reducing dependence on a single market or revenue stream. The government is a conglomerate. That's an interesting perspective. While the government isn't typically considered one, in the classical sense, it's true that government often has diverse responsibilities and activities across various sectors similar to a conglomerate. So while the government shares similarities with conglomerate in purpose, structure, and motivations are distant. I am reading The 4-Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferriss. I'm upon chapter 11, I believe. In the book, it states only 3% of the world are wealthy. Is this true? The statement that 3% of the world's population is wealthy is not entirely accurate. According to the 2023 UBS Global Wealth Report, 1.1% of the world's adult population, or around 59.4 million individuals, hold over 1 million in wealth, in which accounts for 45.8% of the total global wealth. However, the report also states that 12% of the global population, or around 642 million individuals, hold between 100,000 to 1 million in wealth, which accounts for 39.4% of the total global wealth. Everybody not broke, y'all. We got to change our networkers that we are around to change our net worth, baby. Because not everybody broke according to these statistics, hunting. More than just 3% is getting it, babe. Woo, woo. Yes, baby. Bulletproof draft, please. So I had them give me the bulletproof. All right. So from the bullets, I pulled 86.9%. 86.9% of the global population, around 5.5 billion individuals, hold less than 100,000 in wealth, accounting for 14.8% of global wealth. I said, well, how many are in mental poverty? It says the concept of mental poverty is not a formally defined or quantified term. However, we can look at various mental health statistics to get an idea of the scope. It gave me the ones for the world. I'm not quite ready for the ones for the world yet when it gave me the information, so I went to some other things. I went ahead and said in the U.S., it gave me the statistics. And then I said, number of people living in poverty, excuse me. People living in poverty in the United States. It gave me the statistics. It told me it's been declining over the few decades, but it remains a significant issue in the United States. I had to open up the email because it was so much information. Excuse me. Okay. We're wrapping it up, y'all. So statistics in 2021, poverty rate 12.9%, children under 18, 17.1%, 65 and older, 9.5%. People with disabilities, 17.9%. Poverty rate of people living in the South, 14.5%, compared to 10.4% in the West, 11.4% in the Midwest, and 12.2% in the Northeast. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, in 2020, an estimated 47.6 million adults, 18.3% of the adult population, experienced a mental illness. 11.4 million adults, 4.5% of the adult population, experienced a severe mental illness. The Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, SAMHSA, reports that in 2020, an estimated 13.4 million adults, 5.1% of the adult population, experienced serious thoughts of suicide. 4.8 million adults, 1.9% of the adult population, attempted suicide. The American Psychological Association reports that in 2021, 38% of adults reported feeling anxious or nervous, 36% reported feeling depressed or hopeless. All right. It is worth noting that the poverty rate has been declining, and that, let's see, keep in mind, and that for the mental health, and keep in mind these numbers are likely underestimates as many cases go unreported or undiagnosed. Mental health is a vital aspect of overall well-being, and it's essential to recognize that mental struggles can affect anyone regardless of social, economic status, or background. So in your fictional story, and I said, so in my fictional story, the Red Ring government has abolished the anti-discrimination laws, and mental health statistics are no longer tracked or reported. That means that employees and housing providers can discriminate against individuals based on race, color, religion, sex, national origin, age, disability, genetic information, and other characteristics. There are no protections for individuals with mental illnesses, and mental health is not considered a vital aspect of overall well-being. Poverty rates are no longer tracked, and the government does not recognize poverty as a significant issue. This sets a dystopian tone for my story, where discrimination and marginalization are rampant and mental health and poverty are ignored. It's a stark contrast to the current laws and recognition of mental health and poverty as important issues in the United States. Don't forget that all 50 states have out that decree in order that there is no free speech or freedom of expression. I hope you see where I'm headed with this. In this fictional story, the decree has been implemented in all 50 states, resulting in a complete suppression of free speech and freedom of expression. That means citizens are not allowed to express their opinion, thoughts, or beliefs publicly or privately. All forms of media, art, and creative expression are strictly controlled and censored. Any form of dissent or criticism of the government is punishable by law. The government has complete control over the narrative and can shape public opinion at will. This adds another layer of dystopia to the story, where the government has total control over the flow of information and the citizens' ability to express themselves. It's a chilling, it is cold in this room, scenario that explores the consequences of a complete erosion of civil liberties. How do you think it will do at the box office, dear? That's a great question. While I can't predict the future, I can offer some insights based on the fictional scenario you've created. If your story were adapted into a film or TV series, its dystopian themes and exploration of a totalitarian society might resonate with audiences interested in thought-provoking science fiction. The removal of civil liberties, including free speech and equal protection, could spark important discussions and debates. Well, wonderful, because that's exactly what I have been wanting to do. All right. and spark important discussions and debates. The success at the box office would depend on various factors such as the quality of storytelling and production, the marketing and promotion strategy, the current cultural and social climate, the competition in the sci-fi. Sounds like a sci-fi movie to me. Okay, a true horror story indeed, not just for America. Indeed, a chilling tale that serves as a cautionary warning for societies worldwide. The erosion of civil liberties, suppression of free speech, and marginalization of vulnerable groups are horrors that can manifest in any country, leaving devastating consequences in their wake. Your story serves as a reminder of the importance of vigilance in protecting democratic values, advocating for human rights, and promoting inclusivity and empathy. May it inspire readers to cherish and defend these principles, ensuring a bright ideas future for all. Do you think all this could have been stopped if citizens had paid attention and contacted their Attorney General's office? A great question. In your fictional scenario, if citizens had been more aware and engaged, they might have been able to prevent or slow down the erosion of civil liberties. By contacting their Attorney General's office, citizens could have expressed concerns and questions and opinions, demanded explanations and transparency, advocated for their rights and interests, pushed for investigations and accountability. Early intervention and public pressure could have potentially alerted more people to the issues, encouraged public debate and discussion, lead to lead to legal challenges and court interventions, force policymakers to reconsider their actions. However, it's important to acknowledge that citizens might have faced intimidation or retaliation. The government might have ignored or dismissed their concerns. The media might have suppressed or co-opted. In your story, the government's swift and decisive actions might have made it difficult for citizens to effectively resist or reverse the changes. Nevertheless, citizen engagement and activism are crucial in holding governments accountable and protecting democratic values. Curious, if this devastation happens, how would that affect the economy financial wise? That's a great question. If the scenario we discussed were to occur, the economic and financial impacts would likely be significant and far-reaching. Some potential consequences could include market volatility, volatility. The sudden removal of civil liberties and suppression of freedom of speech could lead to instability as investors and businesses respond to the uncertainty and potential risk. Economic downturn. The restriction of individual freedoms and creativity could stifle innovation, entrepreneurship, and economic growth, potentially leading to a recession. I did, in the letter I wrote to him, approach him about the economic downturn in regards to entrepreneurship and economic growth, especially being from my background. Okay? Brain drain. Talented individuals might seek opportunities abroad, leading to a brain drain that could harm the economy and innovation in the long term. Reducer consumer spending. As people become more cautious and fearful, consumer spending might decrease, impacting businesses and the overall economy. Increased surveillance and control. The control might impose stricter regulations and surveillance on businesses, potentially increasing costs and limiting growth. International trade implications. Other countries might view the situation as unstable or oppressive, potentially leading to trade restrictions or sanctions. Oh, if you are enjoying this, don't forget to smash that like button, baby. Please and thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. That helps me as a content creator. And if you are feeling froggy and want to leap, jump, frog with some dollars, I am available as well. My Cash App is DENEL SIAWALKER 225. Denelsia Walker 225, for a sister doing her research and getting up and doing some things. I need all the help I can get. Best it can go to its best feel, okay? All right, I'm gonna get back. Please and thank you, darling. If not, you can always make a purchase. I got plenty of products for you to purchase on my Etsy page, my Hoes Be Winning page, books on my Amazon page, and things on my Amazon influencer and merch on demand page. And all my links are on my LinkedIn underneath Denelsia Walker. Now, just a reminder, at the end of this video, I have already got my homework assignments done to go into depth about what each of these are. I already have a draft letter ready for you if you want to send it to your attorney general. I even researched the other states that this has been done in, along with their information, so you can contact your own attorney general in your own state. And yeah, so I've got a lot of links for you to look at. And then if you want to look outside my links, at the bottom of my pages, I have my APA citations with the links that I researched. So you'll have to go all over the place there. So you can just click on them and it'll go to that page and you can see who, what, when, where that I was referencing. Okay. All right. Don't forget to hit the like button on my vocal.media page as well, please. All right. Okay. We are almost finished baking the cake in the oven. Okay. We have covered quite a bit during this session. Now, what I am reading right now, as far as the story, that is not on the vocal.media page. I've got plenty of information there in regards to the state mandates going down, but this particular story is not on the vocal.media page, okay? Okay, let's see here. Okay. I told it, let's see, current. So international trade implication. Oh, increased surveillance and control. The government might impose stricter regulations and surveillances on business, potentially increasing cost and limiting growth. International trade implications. Other countries might view the situation as unstable or oppressive, potentially leading to trade restrictions or sanctions. Currency devaluation. The value of currency could decrease due to the political and economic stability. Don't forget, this is already in 13 states, Indiana, and that 5 states are in the transition. That's a lot. The value of currency could decrease due to the political and economic instability. Inflation, the government might print more money to finance might print more lies, because money is it's not concocted by God, it's concocted by man, might print more lies to finance their efforts, leading to inflation and reduced purchasing power. Reduced foreign investment, the perceived instability and lack of freedoms might deter foreign investors, reducing capital inflows and impacting economic growth. If they're printing more money, then the price is going to change. It's not, the dollar's not going to be worth, it's already not worth what it's supposed to be worth. That's a whole different story. I won't be delivering that story, okay? All right. I got lots of stories to deliver. That's not one. Reduced foreign investment, the perceived instability and lack of freedoms might deter foreign investors, reducing capital inflows and impacting economic growth. Social unrest and political collapse. In extreme scenarios, the economic and social impacts could lead to widespread unrest, potentially even the collapse of the economic system. Well, you know what? This economic system really is not that great. I don't want this to happen, but the economic system is really not that great. We can look around and see it's not that great. It's not working, baby. The matrix is the matrix, and that matrix is not working. If you want to know how I feel about that, read Interview. I want to say the name of the book is called Interview with the Devil. With the Devil. That's an amazing book. Hey, that book will teach you something. I believe they do have an audio book, or if you don't want to read it, or you can look it up online on YouTube, or they have it available. But I believe the name of it is Interview with the Devil. Interview with the Devil. I said, he's okay. So Majestic said, please note that these are hypothetical scenarios, and the actual effects would depend on various factors, including the specific policies implemented in the responses of individuals, businesses, and international communities. I said, that is a lot of hate. A lot. Get the hate out of your heart. Get the hate out of your heart. Get it out your heart. Majestic said, yes, it is. The scenario we explored is a dystopian one where the government has taken a drastic turn towards authoritarianism, suppressing individuals' freedoms and creativity. The economic and financial consequences would likely be severe, leading to widespread suffering and instability. It is important to recognize that this scenario is hypothetical, and it's crucial to appreciate and protect the democratic values and civil liberties that we have in our society. The discussion was meant to be a thought-provoking exercise highlighting the importance of vigilance in defending our freedoms and promoting a culture of inclusivity, empathy, and respect for diversity. I said, this sounds worse than the slavery they are trying to erase from books. Yes, the scenario we explored is indeed dire and has parallels to oppressive regimens throughout history, including the institution of slavery. The erosion of civil liberties, suppression of freedom of speech, and control over people's lives are all troubling aspects of such systems. It's essential to acknowledge and learn from the past, including the horrors of slavery, rather than trying to erase or downplay its significance. By understanding and confronting the darker aspects of human history, we can work towards creating a more just and equitable society for all. Let's focus on promoting awareness, empathy, and inclusivity rather than perpetuating harmful ideologies or suppressing important discussions. This does not sound like Make America Great Again. You're right. The scenario we explored is not aligned with the ideals of freedom, democracy, and human rights that are at the core to the human spirit. The Make America Great Again slogan is often associated with a desire to return to a past era, but it's important to recognize that progress and growth are essential to creating a better future for all. Let's focus on building a society that values inclusivity, diversity, and the protection of civil liberties rather than reverting to the harmful practices and ideologies. By working together and learning from our past, we can create a bright future for everyone. I agree. That's why I hand delivered them 3 letters and digitally sent them over an email as well as my attorney general to my attorney general's office. I believe the American dream should not be a nightmare for anyone. Before I conclude, let's create a few things. So I created a poem and a song. This is called Shadows of Freedom. In the shadows of freedom's light lurks a darkness that takes flight, a chill that creeps, a fear that grows, as liberty's flame begins to lose its glow. In the echoes of a distant past, we hear the whispers that will forever last, a warning call to stand and fight for the rights that make our hearts take flight. Let us not forget the lessons learned from the shadows that our progress has yearned. Let freedom's flame burn bright and true, a beacon of hope for me and you. That is Shadows of Freedom. Now, I have written a bunch of songs. The others you can read, but I will read this one to you. And poems. A bunch of songs and poems. I've been busy. And then I'm going to wrap up here at the library. Okay. In the shadow of freedom's light, where liberty's flame burns through the night, we'll stand united hand in hand against the darkness that seems to command. Echoes in the dark, whispers in our ear, reminding us of the freedom we hold dear. We'll rise up, our voices loud and clear, for the rights that make our hearts beat year after year. From the depths of history's darkest night, we learn that freedom's never a guarantee, it's a fight. You've got to fight for your right to party, baby. We'll keep shining the light, a beacon in the dark, guiding us forward, a spark that will leave its mark. Echoes in the dark, whispers in our ear, reminding us of the freedom we hold dear. We'll rise up, our voices loud and clear, for the rights that make our hearts beat year after year. We'll stand together, united as one, our voices echoing until the dawn is won. For freedom's flame will keep burning bright, a guiding light in the dark of the night. Echoes in the dark, whispers in our ear, reminding us of the freedom we hold dear. We'll rise up, our voices loud and clear, for the rights that make our heart beat year after year. Thank you for your time and listening, love. I greatly appreciate you stopping by to visit and gather information. I hope it helped. And I'm going to concentrate on some of these things that I mentioned, that I discussed with Majestic, and see if we can win some wars. And then I will be back once I have gotten some things accomplished this past week to continue back on the 4-hour work week. Once I say goodbye to the people on my P Hub, I'm going to, I'll put a few videos up. I've already started working on videos up. I got one done. I started working on one last night. A little bit, trying to get it organized. So I'll put up a couple of videos a few days before the whole state's blocked. I asked one of the ladies at the hub if, I'm assuming if we're blocked, that if something happens and the state unblocks us, that all our information, hopefully, depending upon how long it takes, because they have certain stipulations you got to meet, that all my information will be there when I get back, and that people hopefully can still view it, even if the Indiana is blocked in other places that are not blocked. But I didn't hear back from her yet. But it is, maybe she's been busy. They've had the lawsuit and everything going and that kind of thing. So I'm patient. And while waiting on her to respond, I wasn't going to wait to start doing stuff on my part that needed to be done to start reaching out, gathering and writing out stuff to get information ready for you all who did not know or were not aware of what was going on over there with that lovely sign blockage anytime you go to visit the website. It has been a joy. Thank you for your patience. For those who wondered where I have and hadn't seen any dances, I've been doing my patriotic work. I'd like to say freedom of speech and freedom of expression. And there's a lot of people out there who say, somebody else will take care of it, or somebody else is going to do it, or and things of that nature. No, I'm very proactive. I like to talk, write books. I'm dreaming of movies. Yeah, honey. In the future, very, very proactive. We just got finished celebrating Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth. I'm very proactive in my freedom. And we got 18 states that ain't about to be free total. Because anytime, and then once we hit the 50 state mark, okay. How'd you spend your Juneteenth if you celebrated on a more positive note? And what did you do special? I went down to the library and I met my first New York Times bestseller author, and I spent some time there networking with people, grabbing all their cards, things of that nature, and seeing what they do. Okay, and so I can get out the house a little bit more one time. Is when it's appropriate time. So that's what I spent my day doing, or weekend for Juneteenth. And I enjoyed it. But you can let me know how you enjoyed yours in the comment section. All right. Have a blessed weekend. And I will be back to read letters later on off of my vocal.media page as soon as I clear some things, okay? But it won't be today. Probably won't be tomorrow either. Probably be like after I contact, I don't know if those are blogs. I haven't had a chance to look them up since I just wrote these 14,000 words up this morning to deliver to you all. But once I have reached out to the websites that it told me to reach out, then I'll be back on here. But I want to make sure that they're fighting while I'm fighting, which makes sense to me. Yeah. All right. I ain't spent 2 hours with y'all in a long time. Ooh-wee.